my God. Can I just say, I just want to say one thing. Hello, lover.
Hey, wait a minute.
I'm just kidding. Let me just say and clear it up. I was the one who went to the writers and begged for a storyline with Alan Fletcher. How are you, Alan?
Oh, great. And what a change you made to the show doing that. That was I think it was about 1998, 6 or 7. Somewhere around there. And we were plodding along, and Neighbours was actually at a point, I think it was taking a bit of a dip in popularity, but particularly in the UK. And this story really shook the show up.
And doesn't it feel like it was yesterday, Fletch?
It does, because I've been looking at so many photos and videos, and you haven't changed a zot.
Oh,
not one.
Thank you. Neither of you, Fletch. You're still Dr. KK.
Yeah, I just don't have much hair left.
It's all right. We're on radio. They don't know.
That's true.
So I've got some serious questions that have been written in by fans of the show. So
serious questions.
We'll start with a really, really important one. Who's the best kisser?
The funny thing is, when and you'll remember this because we had a pash. We had 2 pashes actually.
2?
We had 2. Yep.
I only know about the one.
Yeah, there's one. There's the second
We had a
one.
weekend away in a caravan.
Oh, hello.
It was years apart they were, but
Okay.
I don't know, Nick, you can tell me, but every time I've ever had to kiss someone on the screen, you kind of go a bit blank.
You do go blank.
You know, it's like it's not happening. You're living outside of yourself.
Yeah.
So it's just at the end of it, you go, did that happen? Yes, that happened.
But there's video evidence of
I
it.
know.
That's the weird thing, and it's what I always talk about in interviews. It's amazing to me that, you know, because it was late at night, I think, that scene, and it was a closed set because I was terrified because I was a young actress, and there was only like 6 people on set, I think, and it was a quick scene, and so it felt like
It was a quickie.
Yeah, a little bit of a quickie, yeah. So it felt like 45, which is, when you think about how massive this is, 45 seconds-ish of my life defined the rest of my life. Professionally, anyway. And when I think about that, like you say, we went blank, we were just working, we didn't think about it too much at the time, but it blew up and became such a huge thing. And another question about that was written in, Zach wanted to know in London, he's an Aussie that lives in London, he's a huge fan of the show.
Morning, Zach.
Morning, Zach. He said if the storyline had Carl leave Susan for Sarah, where do you think they'd be now, and do you think they'd still be back together? If it was possible.
That is interesting. I suspect that Neighbours as a show, the writers would not let Carl and Sarah be a couple for a prolonged period of time. There would be too much strife. Absolutely too much strife. I suspect
but
that
lots
Sarah
of men that have affairs do end up with the lady, don't they? So it would be.
That's true.
Would have been.
I think
quite
they would have gone for the drama, and they would have had lots of conflict.
Yeah. I guess they got all the controversy out of it they needed. And the question also asked, if you could have been any other character, what or who would they have been? I assume the what was in case you want to be bouncer.
I'd be Paul Robinson in a heartbeat. I just love him. He's such a
he's a rat bag, isn't he?
He's a rat bag.
Yeah.
He's completely villainous. He has no morals.
I thought he was a good singer.
It must be,
That's
it must
Paul
be
Robeson.
fun for Stefan Dennis, who plays Paul Robinson. He always looks happy anyway, doesn't he?
He does. He is a happy man.
And they also asked, if the show brought Sarah back, would you be happy?
Oh, sure. It was wonderful. I tell you what, it was fabulous.
There'd be another kiss in it, I bet.
Well, the last time you came back, actually, I thought that was a terrific story. You actually, was Sarah, I should say, actually got Carl and Susan back together.
Yes, yeah, and it was, and I love the boy that played my son. That was such a gift, Jai Waitford, who's a singer. Because he kind of did look like, he actually was in the green room with my daughter Nova, and I have a picture of them together, and they look like brother and sister. So that was really good casting.
I've never seen that episode of Neighbours when Sarah came back to Ramsay Street, but I had a quick look on YouTube. Was that a building collapse involved or something?
Yes, it was called Hotel Death Trap.
That's right.
And Sarah got caught up in it. So now I want to ask
Well,
you...
then how did Sarah end up in the hotel in the first place?
She's going to meet Carl. Shush. Susan doesn't know.
She still doesn't know.
Their marriage is back on track. Shush now. So I wanted to ask you about this tour you're doing in the UK, because I'm fascinated, because originally, and I only got bits and bobs and reading emails and stuff, I thought, oh, you know, you're off doing this one-man show. But is it true that your wife Jenny's interviewing you on stage?
She is indeed.
Oh, wow.
My wife, on the 18th of March, we celebrate our 30th wedding anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And on the 18th of March, Neighbours turns 35. So it's a lovely big celebration. I'm going to be in the UK for all of that. And I've got this one. It's a two-person show, I suppose, because Jenny's on stage interviewing me. She knows me better than anyone in the world, and it's about basically my life and times in my career, but mainly in Neighbours, of course. It's told through music, through I use a lot of clips.
Yeah, but is she going to be brave enough to ask you the tough questions?
Sure, she is.
She's your wife. Can she ask you who's the best kisser?
Hey, interestingly enough, Neighbours started on the 7 network.
That's right.
Originally, and then it moved to Channel 10.
I did not know that.
That's right. And
Yeah,
the person who made the decision to dump Neighbours at Channel 7 is now cleaning toilets.
Absolutely.
Well, they're under pressure. Can I ask Dr. Carl a question?
Yes, of course,
Because
Kate.
before we go on with the listeners,
Yeah.
I've got a bad knee. And I'm just wondering, is that something you can have a look at for me?
I can have a very
Carl?
long look at it and do absolutely nothing.
I have a wart on my... Oh, no, don't worry about it. Shall I just call your secretary?
Yeah.
So I want to know more about the show over in the UK. So you're doing some singing?
Yeah, within the show, I'll be performing, singing, chatting about the show, looking at a lot of clips and commenting about what happened behind the scenes on that. The things like, as you say, about
The
kissing.
fans are going to love that.
But also being a doctor, because I've done scenes with you where you're in the white coat and you've got the stethoscope and you're fiddling about with bandages and all that stuff.
Doesn't make a
And
difference.
do you think you've picked anything up over the years?
Doesn't know anything about knees.
I know he needs them. I can say angioblastic T-cell lymphoma.
Well, that is impressive.
Oh,
I know.
that's impressive. What is it? What is that?
Well, it's actually the disease that killed Alex Kinski. It's a form of cancer, but and a particularly vicious form. But no, I know nothing about medicine. Let's face it. My family think I do. They keep saying, "Dr. Dad, help me with this, help me with that."
You love music.
I do.
Tell me about your band.
Oh, well, I formed the band back in 2004, Waiting Room, and primarily it was a covers band playing at the Neighbours Night here in Melbourne, and the word got around very quickly in the UK.
The fans loved it.
Yeah, well, but we had tours happening in the UK. We did 2 tours a year for 2 years, and then one a year after that. We toured about 10 times. It was fantastic.
Wow.
And in that process, we wrote a lot of original music. We released an album which sold very, very well.
Cool. And are you the singer? Are you the lead singer in the band?
I'm the lead singer in the band. The other boys are very talented as well. They're great singers and players.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody expected the band would be a train wreck because Dr. Carl's music is horrendous.
I do remember a guitar always lying on your couch in scenes, and I thought, what's that there for?
Yeah, because you can't play it, right? No, Dr. Carl's terrible, and we have a lot of fun with that. So the fans confessed to me in the UK, they came out to see a comedy show. They thought, oh, well, this is going to be super bad. But the musos I played with, of course, were fantastic. Yeah. So we got quite a following, actually, as being a.
But you are quite funny. You're very funny in the quick seconds on the outside of the set before we walk through a door.
I am a bit of a clown on set, I have to say, because it's one thing. It's very true to say when you're doing big emotional scenes on a show like Neighbours, and there's a lot of them. Yeah. The only way you can kind of keep your headspace together is to have a lot of levity around that.
Yes, so I agree.
A lot of laughs, and otherwise, you find yourself, you do 8 hours of intense emotional work. You're weighed down. It's exhausting, and when you go home, you carry it home with you. So there's a lot of comedy.
Jackie's got a great sense of humour, so
absolutely.
Just one last question on the music. The album, what was it called?
It was called In the Waiting Room.
And is it still available?
It is. Although I think it dropped off Australian iTunes. I'm not quite sure why. I should look into that.
Rude.
I know.
Can you go to JB Hi-Fi and get the CD?
No, you'd have to go to my website to get.
That's easy to get off your website. Now, some of the fans are a little bit concerned that the reason you're going to the UK and doing this big show and tour is because you're leaving Neighbours. Is that true? Yes or no?
No, emphatically no. Why would you leave a gig like Neighbours? I have the best time. I have as much fun on doing Neighbours now, probably more actually, than I did 25 years ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's just a dream job because it's just a wonderful family out there. You've worked on the show, you know what it's like.
It is a lovely family, yeah.
Yeah, the green room is it's my happy place.
Yeah. And it's been such a great springboard for so many talented people.
That's right. This is my question. This isn't a fan question. This is a Nicola question.
Is it a medical question?
Because no, I've been there with him. No, I've been loving watching Ben Mendelsohn on The Outsider on, is it Foxtel or Netflix, one of those. And so many Neighbours stars have successfully gone to LA and done the LA thing. Did you ever think about doing that?
I didn't actually. I'd started Neighbours when I was 37, and I had my first child was born in that year. And working with Jackie Woodburn on Neighbours has been a dream for me. I don't think I could. I can't imagine working as closely with someone and having such a wonderful working relationship. So I just loved my work there. And the thing about being an actor is I'm not really interested in trying to be a huge star. my interest is I just want to work. I want
Yeah.
to work as
You
an
want to pay the mortgage.
You're a
Working
huge
as an
star,
actor every
Alan.
day is
Yeah.
such a gift.
It's a gift,
Yeah.
and
You're so good at it, Alan.
Thank you. Well, you can go to LA. A lot of people do, and
It's awful. I live there. It's terrible.
Well, and for a lot of people, because you say, "Oh, you're on that show, you're on that show, you're on that
Yeah.
show," but they don't count up the number of days they weren't working.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I get to work every day
Yeah.
on my craft.
In the town where you live and your children live,
Yeah.
which
One
is
for
such a
both
gift.
of you.
Yeah.
Have you done the UK pantomime scene?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Did
was
you do the
never
pantos?
ever asked to do pantomime.
Really?
I-
You
oh,
never
on,
got
England.
asked to do the pantos?
I
Get
know.
get yourself on a panto.
I know.
No, I did. I
You
did
did?
six
But,
pantos.
but I'm the same as Alan now. I've got 3 children in school in Melbourne, so I'm a homebody and I just
Yeah.
want to be here.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, the pantos were great. I dragged my poor children. Got dragged to places like Clondino and
Dundee.
Northwest. I went to Aberdeen.
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 Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Yeah.
So
What
I've
if we
had
scorch?
some very fine times in pantos. My favourite was the panto of Peter Pan is actually more of a musical play,
Mm.
and they're often done in very big, grand productions in big
Nice.
opera houses and things
Yeah.
like that. So the costume is amazing, the songs are amazing, and I love playing Captain Hook.
Ah, yeah, you'd be good at that. Now, listen, we're running out of time. Do you want to say anything to the fans that are listening in the UK about your tour? Can they do photos with you if they come along?
They
Stuff
can.
like
There are
that?
meet and greets at every show. There have to be a limited number of tickets, but there are meet and greets. I'm mainly in the north. I've got 2 shows in London. We're going to be doing Liverpool, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Newcastle,
Wow.
Doncaster, and a lovely little place near Hull called Cottingham. More shows may be added, but they're all on sale. And if you go to my website, front page of my website, it has all the ticket details.
Website address again?
alanfletcher.net, and that's ALANfletcher.net.
And you can get the album there too.
Thanks, Fletch. Thanks for coming in. We love you.
Bless you guys.
We're going
Wonderful
to
be here.
We're going to